Hey guys, for today's video I want to tell you some more of my paranormal experiences. I have so many of these. I have stories of ghosts, weird psychics, and stories that my mom and dad have told me from their childhoods. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you want to watch the previous paranormal experiences video, then please go right ahead. I'll link it in the description. I hope you can sleep after this, and I hope you enjoy it. So for the first story, I was in the house. It was really late at night. It was summer and yet it was so dark outside, so it must have been around 11, maybe 12. Most of my family were in bed, so it was just me and my mom. I was inside watching TV and my mom was outside working on the patio. Now, my mom is pretty butch. She doesn't let a lot faze her. She's not scared of a lot of things, apart from birds. She doesn't get freaked out easy. She's very, very level-headed. So I heard her scream so loud. I stop what I'm doing. I can't see outside through the glass doors, so I run out to see what's going on. And it's so dark out there. I mean, all I can really see is the rooftops above the houses and these little lanterns that are hanging in our garden. That's all I can see. Eventually, after my eyes adjust a little bit to the dark, I can see my mom and she's staring straight ahead, back turned away from me. She's staring out over the houses and she doesn't look away from where she was looking. She stays with her back to me the entire time. So I run over to her. I'm like, Mom, are you okay? What's going on? What's happening? Like, you screamed, are you okay? And she says to me, you're not going to believe me. So I was freaked out and I said, just tell me. And she told me she was out working on the patio and it was getting too dark, so she decided to come in. She said that she stood up, looked out over the rooftops, and she saw a witch. I was so confused by this point. My mom doesn't do pranks or say things to scare people. She doesn't do that. And she was white in the face while she was telling me this story. So I said, Mom, what do you mean you saw a witch? And she said to me, I saw a witch on a broomstick flying over the rooftops. She was shaking when she told me this. She was shaking, she was white in the face. What am I supposed to say? That's the creepiest thing in the whole world. What are you talking about? So I said, are you sure? Maybe it was one of those Halloween torches that you shine in the sky and it's got the silhouette of a witch. And she said, no, this was not a silhouette. There was no light surrounding it. And she said to me, the witch was so close, I could see her face. What do you mean you saw a witch's face? This story has confused me for so long. I know it's not that scary, but it was just the weirdest thing in the world. To this day, anyone who asks, she's 100% serious, and I believe her. So this second story is a lot more creepy and a lot more ghosty. It's about a ghost. So me and my little sister, when we were younger, we would watch these real-life ghost hunting programs, and one of the things that terrified me the most about them was when they would use a white noise box. If you don't know what a white noise box is, basically it picks up sound waves that the human ear can't hear. And they use these white noise boxes to try and hear ghosts talking. This used to freak me out so much. They go into like a haunted hotel and they'd use the white noise box and then they'd play it in that little room afterwards and it'd be someone going, get out! And I would turn the TV off and I'd run out of the room. So I decided I was going to get a Ghostbox app on my phone so I could listen to white noise and never sleep again. The Ghostbox app that I got basically tried to translate what it picked up of the white noise. Now usually these translations come out as random letters and occasionally words, but they don't ever usually make sense. So I'm sat in my room on my own and I open up the Ghostbox app. Immediately I can hear it talking. It sounded like half of a conversation and it was saying things like, I know, or yes, I see. I just couldn't believe it was picking up anything more than random words and letters. I couldn't believe it was stringing together sentences and it was already freaking me out. That alone made me want to turn the whole thing off, but I decided to be brave, and for the greater good of the paranormal, I decided I was going to ask it a question. So I said, as loudly as I could manage, what's your name? The speech cut out immediately. It was silent. As soon as I asked it a question, I guess as soon as it knew I was trying to talk to it, it stopped speaking completely. So I decided to be brave again, and my voice was shaking at this point. I was beyond myself already. The fact that it was talking and then it cut out, it was scaring me. So I said again, "What's your name?" And it answered me. I didn't even know like names were programmed into this app, so that was crazy. I cannot for the life of me remember what the name was, and I wish I could, because then I could show you all the proof I have for later on, but I just can't remember it. It was a year ago. I didn't write it down. I was scared. So I'm sorry about that, but it told me its name, and it didn't just say it once, it repeated it over and over and over again, and it wouldn't stop. And I was terrified. I was like shaking, my hands were shaking. I wanted to turn off the app and just forget about it, but I carried on. I said, "What are you doing here?" And at first, I assume it didn't hear me because it was just repeating its name over and over again. So I said it again, "What are you doing here?" The noise cut out. It could only have been like 5 seconds, but it lasted so long in my mind. And then it said, "Death." I started screaming at the top of my lungs. I was living with like 4 other people at this point, and they all were like, "What the hell's going on? What are you doing? Like, what's happening up there?" I started screaming. I turned off the app. I threw my phone on the bed, ran out the room. I was beyond myself. I could just about deal with it telling me its name, saying "death" at me. I was so scared. But then later in the day, I decided to Google this guy's name. The first search result that came up was this guy, the exact same name, living in the town I was living in. It's a Facebook page. For years, this guy has been updating his Facebook every single day, multiple times a day. The last post made on that account was a year ago. And after that, the account was completely dead. I couldn't find any other trace of him anywhere else apart from his Facebook page. I believe maybe he did die. So those are 2 horrible paranormal stories. I have so many more. I have a story coming up about the time my dad met Slender Man. So if you don't want to miss anything, please subscribe. I hope you like the video, and thanks for watching.